Alice, a warm welcome to Bristol Sport. Tell us about Ripple and how it came about.
Sure, so Ripple really was an idea that I thought of in December of 2020, and that was following the loss of my brother Josh, who very sadly took his life on the 25th of November. After losing Josh, I went through his devices and I very quickly found out that he had been searching on the internet for ways and means to go about ending his life. And it was those searches ultimately that were providing Josh with instructions and harmful content to do with self-harm and suicide. So I saw an opportunity, and that was to intercept anyone else out there who might be struggling like my brother was, searching for harmful content, and instead to intervene and signpost them to support services. And that's exactly what Ripple does. It's a tech intervention that provides support to people at their most vulnerable point.
And explain to us how it works.
So Ripple is a browser extension. It can be deployed on any browser of choice. So that could be Safari, Chrome, Edge, Firefox. And once downloaded, it means that if somebody was to go on the internet and conduct a search that's harmful relating to the topic of self-harm or suicide, the Ripple browser extension would intervene on the search, provide a short breathing exercise, and then signpost that person to a selection of different mental health resources that they can access both now and in the longer term.
And in terms of the impact that has had and noticeable interventions, what kind of growth are we talking about?
So in the 3 years that Ripple has been in existence, we've now got just under 2 million downloads of the Ripple technology around the world. It exists in 49 countries, in 14 different languages, and it's actually now intercepted over 60,000 harmful online searches where we've intervened at someone's crisis point and signposted them to support to let them know that there is help out there.
That's an incredible amount of interventions. Mental health is so important. In terms of the partnership with Bristol Sport and the clubs and foundations, what are you hoping to achieve through that?
Awareness is the key here. With Bristol Sport and the support that they've provided me and Ripple, we're trying to get the word out to as many people as possible. So that's not just players, but it's staff, it's the fan base, and it's the community actually around Bristol as well. The more people that know about this technology, the more lives it's going to save. It's free for schools, colleges, universities. It's available for local businesses to download. And it's also available for parents at home to download for free to protect their children as well. So it's a crucial partnership and one that's certainly helping to get the word out.
You talked about the number of downloads, the number of interventions. When you hear back and the feedback you get, are there any particular stories that have really resonated with you?
So we don't collect or track any personally identifiable information, so we only really hear about these incidents when people have that courage and bravery to approach us directly and tell us that Ripple saved their life. And we've so far had 31 people that have done that and come forward. But there's one in particular that stands out to me, and it's from a local young man from Portsmouth. And he sent a paragraph that really resonated with me about how Ripple intervened in the middle of the night when he was searching for how to end his life. And if it hadn't been for Ripple at that pivotal moment, he might not be here now. So it resonated so much, I've actually printed it off, and it sits alongside me on my desk every day and gives me my reason and my purpose to keep going and carrying on.
When you thought about setting Ripple up, did you envisage that, it would have such an impact?
I had absolutely no idea how much Ripple would grow in such a short space of time. When I came up with this idea, I was in the depths of despair, frankly. I didn't really know what to do. I was grieving the loss of my brother. I was trying to support my parents. And at that stage, it was just that, an idea that I came up with in my bedroom. So to know now that this technology has had nearly 2 million downloads We've got an amazing team of 7 people now that help run Ripple all the time. And it's supporting and helping so many people, not just in this country, but all around the world. It blows my mind.
Because, you were a grieving sister, I presume just wanting to do something in memory of Josh to make a difference.
Exactly. Everything that I do for Ripple is in memory of Josh and because of Josh. And he is the whole reasoning and essence as to why we exist in the first place, and he always will be. But ultimately, I'm a sister that wants to now stop suicide impacting you, your family, your friends, your neighbours, and get people the support that they need at the right time before it's too late.
And we talk a lot about mental health, and thankfully it is becoming more acceptable to talk about mental health. But in terms of suicide and self-harm, is that still quite a kind of a closed world, really, and difficult for people to to break into in terms of talking about their struggles?
Absolutely. So you're right in saying that mental health is now becoming more of a normal conversation to have, certainly in workplaces and so on, which is great. Self-harm and suicide, we're still at a stage where there is a stigma attached to the topic, and there's still a lot of work to do around that. Nobody wants to talk about suicide. It's not a nice topic to talk about, but it's needed, and by doing so, you could save somebody. And
what's the most important message do you feel you'd like to take away from Ripple's programs, the mission, really?
There is always hope. No matter how bad things might be and might seem at the moment, whatever it is you're going through in your life, there is always a better option than suicide. And there is amazing resources out there that can help and guide you and support you in getting through whatever it is you're going through.
And if anyone is struggling themselves or know anyone who's struggling, how can they access Ripple?
So our website is ripplesuicideprevention.com. We're also on social media. You can find us on Facebook, on Instagram, and on LinkedIn. You can also email us at info@ripplesuicideprevention.com. But also on our website, there is a whole host of mental health resources that you can access in a variety of formats. And there's also the link, of course, to download Ripple for free in 60 seconds as well.
Alice, thank you so much for sharing yours and Josh's stories, and obviously Ripple. And we wish you all the best.
Thank you.